Hello. This is a Blender tutorial designed to introduce curves. The rules and hotkeys governing curves are very similar in both before and after the 2.8 release. I will be using Blender 2.79. We're going to spend about 10 minutes learning about how curves work, how versatile they are, and how to use hotkeys to speed your design. Curves let you do a variety of things within Blender. For example, creating vines, or tentacles, or roller coasters, or flight paths for birds. They also let you trace objects and then give them dimensionality so that you can take your favorite corporate logo or sports logo or superhero symbol or whatever 2D image you like and build it within Blender, then animate it. So let's go. Select and delete your cube. Add a Bezier curve by pressing Shift-A. Go to Curve, Bezier. When it first appears, you can manipulate with regular transform tools, G for grab, R for rotate, S for scale. Remember, you can always press Ctrl-Z to go backwards. I'm going to press 7 on my number pad to go into top view. Press Tab and go into edit mode, and you will see a chevron lengthen curve indicating it's in 3D mode. Notice the red handles coming out of both ends of the curve. These handles can be selected with your right click or by pressing G, and then moved or lengthened to affect the shape of your curve. There are 3 points on each handle, a center point and 2 ends. The center point is the curve. The handles themselves are only for manipulation and are not the curves. My students commonly mistake the ends of the handles for the ends of the curves. They're not. You cannot join handle ends, but you can join lengths of curves from the center, and you can extend your curve into a much longer curve. We'll come back to that shortly. On the right of the interface, you'll notice in the Properties tab that there is a separate button delineating that this is in fact a curve. And you can see when you open this up that it reads 3D as opposed to 2D, indicated by the blue. We'll leave it in 3D for a moment to show how resolution works. There is no true curve in Blender. It's a series of small lines. And if we reduce our resolution, you can see that our curve becomes increasingly segmented and simplified. You can increase the resolution to almost any number you like. I like to put mine at 24, and I can adjust it later for more or less detail depending upon my needs. Now we'll go up to the 2D button. When you press 2D, the chevrons will disappear. 2D is more suitable to trace an image. And furthermore, Blender will not be able to fill a space with a plane if the curve is left in 3D. 2D means just that. It will not be able to be twisted or shaped into the Z-axis. It is stuck in X and Y. Select one end of your curve, the center, not the end of the handle. Then you move your cursor to another location on the screen and press Ctrl and left click together. Another length of curve will appear. Now move your cursor again. Ctrl and left click. Move your cursor again. Ctrl and left click. Make a daisy chain like this until your curve is close to the beginning of the curve is near the ending of the curve. Don't try and drag the two onto each other. That's not how you connect them. This often causes problems because it looks connected, but it isn't. To connect them, select one end of the curve, press Shift, which acts as a plus button in Blender, and right-click on the other end of the curve. If you see that both of those handles are selected, press F for Fill. F is for Fill. When you do so, you see that your curve has been joined, which allows Blender to create a plane. When you have your plane, you can still manipulate it if it's in edit mode, because at the end of the day, it's still a curve. Curves have a variety of handles. Select a curve end, then press V. V is for vector. When you press V, you have a variety of types of handle. We're going to look at three main ones: automatic, vector, and free. Automatic is the default, where when one edge of the curve is moved, it affects the other curve. Both handles are operating a bit like a steering wheel on a bike. This makes for very smooth curves. If you select your center again and press V and go to free, what it does is it effectively allows each vector to operate independently. This will allow you to make very sharp curves. Again, select your curve, press V, and go to free, and you will have control over each handle quite distinctively. Select another part of your curve and press V and go to vector. Vector creates straight lines. And if you select two curves and join them with vectors, they will naturally align to each other in a straight line. These three types of handles are very useful when doing tracing. Understanding how they work and how to switch from one to the other will make tracing objects much easier. If you're happy with your shape, you can press Tab to go into object mode. You can always go back in by pressing Tab again. Go back over to your Properties panel. Move past Shape, past Texture Space, and down to Geometry, where you see the ability to extrude and the ability to bevel. If you hover over Extrude and hold your left click down, you can slide the value of Extrude and give dimensionality to your shape. Pretty cool. Additionally, you can hover over Bevel, and when you slide the value of Bevel, you can see its effect. The original bevel is very sharp. If you don't like the sharpness and want it rounder, you can raise the resolution value. That's all we're going to do today. See you soon.